Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll help the channel out and it'll get you more videos like this. Let's get to it. And our first one comes from Organic Rock 9599. Am I the beehole for not caring if my adopted sister feels included? I, a 23-year-old female, have a biological brother, a 24-year-old male, and an adopted sister, 27. She was adopted when I was a year old and she was around 4. For most of my life, my sister received all the attention from our parents. And my brother and I were just there. My parents would bend over backwards to make sure she felt like a part of the family. Which is great, except they didn't bother to make my brother and I feel included. When she was 19, we found her biological family and they have a great relationship now. But I feel like this completely ruined our own family dynamic. Our dad was deceased 5 years ago, and it seems just like she moved on from our dad to the other dad, and is now slowly moving on from our family to our biological family. Her biological mom's side also seems to have a problem with us because we're all white and my sister is black, so every time we try to be involved in activities, there are always jabs at us, and I think they encourage her to become distant from us. My mom still acts like my sister is the entire world though. The last 2 Thanksgivings, we had a family Thanksgiving dinner days before, because my sister was going to have Thanksgiving with her bio family. Same for the previous Christmas. We exchanged gifts by the 20th and my sister didn't even bring my nephew, as he was at his bio grandma's. My final straw has been the trip we had been planning in honor of my dad. On the 5-year anniversary of his passing, we were going to plant an orchard in a certain African country, and my dad worked and lived in for years. And we visited many times. Planting this is something my dad had been planning before he was deceased, and had it planned to a T, so he'd only have to be executing his plan. We had agreed that the 5-year anniversary felt like the perfect time, except now, my sister's biological sister will be getting married around the same time. Not the same day, but it means my sister can only join us after the actual anniversary day. My mom says it's okay, we can plant the trees a week or 2 later, and she actually said that when we plant the trees it doesn't make much of a difference, we'll still be honoring him, but that my sister will only get to attend her sister's wedding once. Okay, let her go attend her biological sister's wedding. That person has nothing to do with you guys. She says it's a week's worth of work anyway, so it's not like we're going to be done on the actual day. This made me mad, and I had told him that I'll be breaking ground on the actual anniversary day, with or without any of them. She said I was being inconsiderate, and that I should think about how this will make my sister feel, like she doesn't matter to the family. Well, how about your mom think about how she makes you guys feel like you don't matter to the family, always prioritizing your sister over you guys. My sister has been a part of our family the same amount of time I have been. Only she can exclude herself. My brother keeps flip-flopping between coming with me to be there for the anniversary or waiting for my mom and sister some days later, and I honestly can't blame him. Am I the beehole for insisting that I'm not waiting on anyone? The trip is in 2 months. I'm gonna say no, OP. It sounds like this has been building up for a while, how your parents have been neglecting you guys and focusing only on her. So eventually something had to happen, something had to give, and I think disrespecting your father was the last straw. That's what I'm getting. What annoys me even more is that it's not your stepsister's wedding, the one you grew up with, the one you know, who you see was, family. It's your stepsister's biological sister, a person you do not know, and they kept that one. You know what I mean? They kept her biological sister, and they sent your sister away to foster care, and that really annoys me that your sister's prioritizing those people instead of the people who've been there for her entire life, who, basically had her back and raised her like their own, raised her better than their own apparently, and they're still being like this towards you when you're trying to, honor your dad, when she just kind of moved on because, screw you guys, she has her bio dad who, was one of the ones who put her into foster care. I'm just saying. So Pete, no, you're not the beehole. If I were you, I'd go break ground, and I hope your brother figures it out and comes along with you. And our next one comes from Ambitious Low 1001. Am I the beehole for asking someone to turn down their sound at a coffee shop? My boyfriend and I were working from a coffee shop today. It had one of those quiet back rooms where people go for complete silence. We call it the boot camp room because people go there when they really need to drill down in silence. Honestly, we try not to go there too much because every now and then we feel like we need to whisper to each other and then we feel bad for distracting others. That's the vibe of the room. Today we happen to be the only people there. We were working at it for at least an hour before someone came in. She threw open the door. Normally everyone closes it to block out the rest of the coffee shop noise, and then started to play a video at full volume. I closed the door and put headphones in, but I could still hear a video over by blasting electronic music. I walked over to my boyfriend. We were sitting a bit apart so we could focus, and he was clearly thrown off by the new incomer. Oh, I had something like this happen to me recently. I was at the doctor's in the waiting room. You're supposed to be quiet in the waiting room because people are dealing with things, so was I. So I was in no mood to deal with loud noise. This guy and this girl, I don't think they knew each other, but this guy whipped out his phone, started playing loud music, not music, videos, I'm guessing TikTok or something like that, where you keep scrolling through little videos, full blast in the waiting room while people are sick and not in the mood or condition to deal with anything like that, and they just want to be in their silence because they're dealing with some stuff. So was I. And this dude's just blasting just loud crap, loud stupid videos, loud meme videos. And I'm sitting there like, holy hell. Eventually, luckily, I was there forever. I don't know what's going on at my hospital. I had to wait hours to get seen. But eventually I got called and all of that went away. But come on, man, you're in a hospital waiting room. Have some decency. But back to the story. I decided to go up to her at this point with the intention of nicely asking her to turn it down. Not turn it off, just turn it down so I wouldn't hear it over my headphones. Here's where I may be the beehole. I tapped her lightly to get her attention, and she immediately responded with, "Can you not touch me?" and glared at me. I apologized immediately. Oh, you shouldn't apologize, Dopey. You're not messing up, but back to it. I'm from an Eastern European family, so it came naturally to me, but I recognize that in the US, personal space is super important. After apologizing, I asked, "Do you mind turning it down a bit?" She responded, glaring at me. "This is awkward because I always work here, and you're the first one who said anything, and you have those headphones on, don't you?" Okay, I don't think she works there because don't they have their own employee area that they can go to and do that? I know when places I worked at, we had our employee area. But back to it. I told her that the both of us were getting super distracted and that I could hear her video over the headphones. She continued to glare at me and ignore me, and then my boyfriend said we should go. I gathered my stuff and followed him out. By the way, we've been visiting this cafe regularly for the past 4 years, and I don't remember ever seeing this girl. Okay, yep, so she's definitely lying about working there. She is just a bee. I think what you should have done is, talk to the staff and be like, "Does she work here? She's being a distraction in the quiet room that's all about quiet." I keep thinking about it because I really felt like she was not being a decent human. I wonder how bad my transition would be if I did start the convo by tapping her shoulder. Am I the beehole? I think you meant didn't start the conversation. OP, I don't think it matters how you got her attention, if you got right in front of her and waved your hands at her, yelled at her, anything like that, because she sounds super entitled and she just went in there to be, well, a dummy, because it's a quiet room. Why are you going in a quiet room and making all this noise? Yeah, I'm gonna say you're definitely not the beehole. You definitely shouldn't have apologized to her, and you should have talked to the staff, because I really don't think she works there, or maybe she just got hired. I don't know. I still don't believe any of that. And if they did, they probably have an employee area they can go to. So not the beehole. And I think you should have just told the staff. But leaving is another way to handle it. But it probably makes her feel like she got her way. I don't know. But definitely not the beehole in this situation. And our final one is from CleanView5362. Am I the beehole for not giving my cat away, even though my neighbor's kids are allergic to him? I got a little cat almost a year ago now. We live in a house de-sitted to 2 apartments. My neighbors live upstairs, and I really didn't have an issue with our cat. Recently, I allowed my cat to go downstairs where the basement is. He likes it there because there are a lot of spiders, and I think he likes hunting. I don't know, he's scared to go outside, so that's what he does. And went up 2 times because he was curious. Which was wrong, I know. 2 weeks ago, the neighbors knocked on the door and was like, "My kids have really bad allergies from hair of animals." So I then said, "Fine, we're not gonna let him go out again." My cat always meows now and annoys me because he wants to go downstairs, but we don't let him go anymore. Now someone was like, "Why don't you give him away or bring him to an animal shelter?" Because I think, why should I have to change my life for someone else? I already tried to bet my best to keep the hair away and clean a lot, and I don't let him go downstairs. Am I the beehole? I'm gonna say no, you're not the beehole, because you did change what you were doing, letting him go out in a common area. You shouldn't have done that at all because, it gets everywhere and people use that. And I also don't think you should have to change your life and give away your pet because someone else is affected by the allergies and the dandruff and all that. I think what you need to keep him busy with all that meowing in your apartment because he's bored now. He was having fun hunting spiders. You gotta find toys or something like that to keep little dude busy. But other than that, no, not the beehole. You changed. The only thing I would have accused you of being the beehole for would be letting your cat out in common areas. I don't get people who have outdoor cats and then they want to get mad at you when something happens to the cat. Your cat wasn't inside. I don't leave my dog outside. You know what I mean? So, OP, not the beehole. Thank you for making it to the end of the video with me. And can you please do what I said in the beginning? And like, comment, and subscribe. It really and truly does help the channel out. It helps it grow, and it helps you get more videos like this. Velvet out.